the teams, and Run or Die or Exakuma starting on the T side. Do you feel it's going to be the explosive play style that they practiced before?
I certainly think so, yeah. I think that's what we're lined up for all of today, to be honest. Obviously, as you mentioned, Run or Die starting on that T side maybe can lend themselves a little bit to that with Cerber picking up the first kill today. Actually, it's swept around right now. Obviously, with Jakey going down, that means it's the other way around. Don't be tricked. As Juan actually gets it right back there into a 4-4, quickly traded out. Valon both gets the kill and gets the bomb down.
It's just a standard stuff from these, and we've seen already from them that we don't have to expect much, of course, from the mixes. But this mix is already 3 players for Exakuma. Hopefully, they'll find a way in here. They'll Skuak, attempting the retake, trying to get a one-on-one as possible. Just peek out and peek in. Couple of smokes already in. And this might be Psycho's last step as we see a couple of kills. And it feels like Run or Die might be onto something. Or indeed, it's Skuak winning the round. As we see the HUD kind of changed. And yeah, it might be misleading for some. But of course, it's Skuak's first round.
Yeah, good stuff from them. Always good to get on the board that early. Getting everyone involved, obviously, with everyone picking up a kill there for themselves. Always crucial just to get into the game like that against what is probably touted as quite a stronger opponent just in terms of the balance of the two teams, with Run or Die obviously coming into the tournament after the qualifiers when they were still under Akuma. They were kind of touted as one of the favorites, right? But
yeah,
even though that's tailed off a little bit, and I would say they've fallen off in that regard a little bit. You'd obviously expect them still to end up on the top of this group, so good start for Skuak there as they get into Banana as well. Bit of control there. Skuak, or Run or Die rather, giving up a lot thereof despite buying up in this round.
Smokes a wrap. At least it's gonna change a little bit for the CTs. They can play the time, they don't have to peak. They have kind of slightly the buy worse than they would expect. Though this boost on a long could help out a little.
Ooh.
We see a boost up there. Great shot from Sensei. We know he was a great sniper, and he's going to prove it probably on this map as well, as we get the advantage for the CT side.
Psycho moving through that smoke, so unexpected. He still will be traded out in the end, as that really does weaken the ace site. Only one left on the actual site. Sensei does pick up 1 kill. It's quickly made into a 3-on-1 in favor of Skuak now. Of course, you can see it's on the right round around this time around to see Skuak jump up, most likely into a 2-round advantage with Jakey just looking for an exit frag here, really. Might be able to get away with a Galil. Not much more. Kaylee walks straight into him and still wins out on the fight itself, as the T side does indeed get to that 2nd round in a row, as Run or Die are forced onto kind of a weird economical spot right now. They aren't really in a position where they are going to be able to force up too much, but maybe we'll just have to go for the straight eco.
Of course, the deals could be slightly change of plans for CTs, and they might get a couple of kills. But hopefully the AKs and Galils should certify this round for the T side. It's going to be just a few pistols up on CTs. When I die, we know that they had a drama before coming to this tournament about stream stabbing, but I hope this won't be bringing up a lot tonight, and hopefully you're going to respect the team. They are now hopefully reformed, and let's see what they can improve here. First, the old Skuak deciding to get the banana control pretty simply. Just a couple of nades, and we already got a whole banana for them. So Run or Die have to play off the info, 3 on B, and this may be a brawl towards the bomb plant.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough one. Even with the USPs facing them, it's still that they go up there. One already dealt with. One set up in a perfect position here. He still gets peeked on, and that's well done from Ledart. So well done to set up the round with only 1 casualty. I think that's more than fine if you're on that T side, especially building up a very strong economy with only losing the 1 player. But that is as Run or Die get to a first buy round here. Sensei picking up the AWP, and others just on those N4s. Of course, mentioning with the old Akuma roster, this is slightly different, right? With a couple new players being brought along. It's not always been clear what players are actually joining up. We saw Quem kind of joining recently. We thought Native, I think, was going to play, who obviously recently was in B8, also in the competition, who struggled without him, but Instead, of course, as you can see here, it's Juan playing. So maybe something that can impact it for sure this game.
It could be. We're gonna see the other one Sensei. We knew he was a great helper. Even Launders, who was talking about in his demo review about his skills, about his explosive playstyle, and hopefully his aggressive op might be appearing in here. Let's see if they can manage something on A side. Still a bunch of utility on Skuak. No worries in here. They've got all the time of the world. And even 2 guys are from Randai on the B side. It's going to be tough to defend. We have only 3 players, though, and rotation coming in. And let's see about the mid hit. What is going to achieve? What is Sensei going to grab? Maybe a kill, maybe a 2. But let's see. The opening is in here. Someone down. And this should be no worries for the Randai. Speaking into the crosshairs. And speaking of words, it's only Hyperi by himself. Skuak is trouble in shambles. And the USP is going to finish up the job. And CD's already on their first round. I think that was something that we expected to somehow get back into the game. And it's going to be their hope that's going to save them a lot.
Yeah, just great job there, right? Just doing his job in a way. Juan coming in with 2 kills of his own. And obviously, if everyone can just at least get a trade on a site, it's going to be hard for the other team to really get into it. You saw Kvem there. Even if he goes down, like, does make it a lot more difficult when you can never really get a pick for free, as it were, on that T side of things. Sensei coming back in with the op here. Of course, as you mentioned earlier, with Jakey already gone down. Oh, Psycho falls as well. It's good for them that Juan picks that kill up, because if he doesn't, if he loses that 50-50, the round might already be over. He tries to go for more as well. Despite being naded down here, down to 22 health. Well,
okay.
He's actually boosted up. He's just around the corner here trying to smoke himself off. And does just go down eventually. That's almost round over, I'd say. And a bit of a weird one over towards that base site.
Yeah, it's maybe the calmness before the storm. We're gonna see 2-on-3 retake. Maybe Randai might be up to something. Still the open hand, and Sensei should be going in pretty fast. He's the one closest to lose the fight. On him, it's Quem. Lurking in the ruins, still able to maybe get a kill and try to pull something. At least one scalp would be fine. Though it might be called for the retake. We know that the B-bomb side on Inferno, it's one of a bastion, and not many people try to attack there, even though when they have like a 3v3, it's still 50-50 chance if they even can get towards the site, and it's even harder to retake and get the bomb down or defuse. But that's not going to be the problem for Randai. They're going to save this one, and let's get the T's point up on their back. And we're going to see the op saved. I do expect something a bit more harder or maybe aggressive from Randai. It's the op anyways that should be leading the charge.
It really should be, yeah. I mean, it's kind of a similar buy to what we saw earlier with the round they won with those 4-on-4s, just trying to play around it. But definitely just getting Sensei into those right spots, which he wasn't able to get into last round. Obviously not really getting any kills that time. Let's see if he can do that now. He walks into middle, straight up, looking for that second mid angle. Didn't quite find it there. Psycho instead goes down to draw first blood against them. Sensei backs away with smoke. Skuak just around the corner as well. They get another pick. Feels like they're just giving up on that B site. A few too many. A little bit too early here, the CT side. Sensei just around the corner, still Hyperi. Not really going to be able to utilize that smoke at all, the faultiness of it. As Sensei tries to get away. Playing it really passively so far there. With the B site yet again, just giving up way too much. As Skuak are going to be pretty comfortable here on 5-on-3. They walk towards that A site. From the 2 players to face.
Maybe different, as we're going to see Randai playing with their 3-man setup. But it's going to be only one guy on B. And the bomb is heading towards the A. Now the smokes come in. Now the flashes come in. And it's going to be Quem around the pit area. This is the most important position on the A side. We'll see the openings from Sensei. He has the angle. He has the kills. And it feels like that was not even a sweat on his eyes and on his face. As Quem now falls down. And it's Sensei to shut down the whole push. And let's hope for the best. 1v1 on the side. But that's Caddy's job. On 1-on-1. That's his point. And he must be coming out of the corner, baiting and shooting. But the plan has to come in, though Mori might be touching him. And he has to run out of the area as soon as possible. But it's 30 HP that is dealing him the last blow, and Juan picks up the round. And of course, as it's ex Akuma, they've played against Navi and also in the ESC Premier Series. Skuak, though, don't have many of the achievements so far, but do feel they might be onto something as they at least trying to pursue their dream and advance in here.
I mean, you said that was his job there, Kaylee, towards the end of the round to clutch out, but it didn't feel like it. He looked very frantic in the way he was trying to approach it. And obviously, with a great all place to set it up, it was credit to Quan to actually win it out in the end. But obviously, without Sensei there, you said he has to kind of save them in this one. And wasn't far from a saving in that round where he really had to get those kills that he did get to actually end up with the victory. Otherwise, I don't think there's a chance that Quanat closes it out like that.
Let's hope for the best. CDs again starting with the op, since they've had it in the round before and we've seen the action from his side. Hopefully he might be onto something here, but Banana, oh no, not even a kill. It must be Jakey to save his time, but it might be even more trouble coming. The Spring Birthday on the Banana, trying to take him hostage. Luckily there's still a man to save him. And it's gonna be the Banana control semi-lost for Skuak. And they will orientate towards the A side. Now it's 2v2 on the site, but more men coming from the Skuak side, and they will attack the A-bomb side.
Psycho set up for it. He gets the one kill. It's peeked out by Clem as well. So at least get the trade as a great nade comes through. That A site defense just looking better and better as we get on here. As Run or Die look for that third round and probably will get at this point, Valen. Just trying to use his time, use his space right now in the 1-on-3 to at least get away and probably get a bomb plant here. Health, though, a problem, and obviously the lack of utility means that if there was just one player towards that base site from the CTs who wouldn't have been able to cross over here, it takes a bit of time to actually cross over, and so he's given the chance now to Juan, and I don't see the reason for that. Juan gets the kill in the end with a bad flash thrown out, so Brother and I end up with the third round as a result. Skuak on next to no money here. Thought they built it up a little bit better than what's actually true, because this just doesn't look very good at all, this economy on that T side.
I must agree, the pistols won't be doing much, but of course, I've said about the deagles, they could be doing some damage, but P50s, you know, ding for 90 and then praying that you hit one more shot. Don't know if that's even possible sometimes, but it's all about the aiming, and hopefully these players train a lot, and I hope those experiences might help them. And maybe get a kill, but of course the AWP won't be any bearable till now. The opening kill goes towards Sensei, and Ranadai hop into the advantage for their man.
Yeah, Skuak just trying to do as best they can in this type of round where you won't really want to walk into that one again. They walk into the other end of things, and it's not much better there. In fact, Jakey lives up to that name, gets a free K on his name to get the just get us equalized here with Skuak on sure a buy again, but I don't think they're feeling all too good in the Skuak camp right now. It's been a couple rounds now in a row where Run or Die are completely just driving them up into pieces. Skuak are ending up with nothing. Obviously this round being more excusable with plays like that, but it's not looking great right now from Skuak. I think they kind of need this round to stay afloat in a way.
It's a dream state if you get 3 guys running through the smoke, towards 0-4, and of course no killer on them. Just use this advantage and maybe do a highlight clip. I would say no one shouldn't be afraid, but look at that, Saints already off. The headshot from Hypery put him to the sleep, and this might spark some sap as we're gonna see attack on the A-bomb side. How are the players already scrambling around, and the A hit could really be possible in here. Clem by himself, and up on the A side, coming whole squad of Skuak. We'll see if the Albanian Kosovo team might be still wondering about the A side as we see this stop. Rethink. This might even be a B trap.
Who knows? I mean, that smoke being thrown in makes it so they can get a bit more control. As Hyper's already got another kill. He picks up his third of the round as he's completely just won it for Skuak right now. You can see Run or Die. At least one is already backing off. Jakey on the way over towards saving as well. And it's just a round where Hyper got 3 kills, and that's the round over. Didn't need to do a whole lot else. Server on the way out, Liz gets another one, but yeah, it was all hyper really. If you're telling the story of the round itself, even as Skuak tries to save, I don't know why they're taking these fights than the saves, but they are, and as a result, Skuak don't just end up with the round, they also end up with Vernadai having no saves over, where they otherwise would have had a pretty decent buy coming into this round. Now it looks a little bit worse, at least.
Yeah, no worries. I think the economics are gonna get better with the rounds coming. Of course, the CD is gonna be more impacted, and it's gonna be heavily dependent on if they win the rounds. And even if they win the rounds, they need to stay as many as alive as possible. And let's see if the AWP is gonna somehow backfire, as Bloodart tried to buy up a second one. So Sensei will have a company in here. Meanwhile, already pick on mid, and the T's are scrambling around, rushing in, but there are no frags to be found. It's now 2v4 after 30 seconds, and Psycho might be now just holding by himself in here, as we've got imagine a MLB hit. 2 players around the mid area. They know that they're gonna have the advantage at B. Of course, it's usually 1 on 2, even if you are holding the side by yourself. And let's see if the CD side gonna have any smokes to stop them. Is that still 2 on the Skuak team? And they can easily execute in here, even fake it if they like it.
It will be Sensei holding him off, though. He's been on point so far, and he's again just going to connect on that first shot. Letter trying to challenge him with an off his zone.
Oh.
Just no chance.
Nah.
Now he's getting through that one. Sensei up to 10 kills here as we get up to 10 rounds. Vernadai equalizing yet again, and with saving so many weapons over from that previous round, can definitely set up now for quite the advantage going into the second half. They would have to win this round and a couple more after, but with the economy looking weak, not just in this round, but definitely after from Skuak, it's certainly that opportunity being opened up now for the Ukrainians, as indeed Skuak end up on, well, 3 AKs, but also that Deagle and Kaylee, and also that Mach 10 then on Glitter as well. So they walk straight into things. Jakey, Psycho, they just get everything to get, but then Jakey does take a bit of damage. It's another one to come in. It's one only got one. It's Psycho to at least make it that 2-on-2. His 2 kills could prove crucial, as well as the damage, to say the least, with Kaylee and Cerber already tagged up so far. Even as that bomb goes down, definitely a chance still here for Krem and for Sensei in the clutch as a whole.
Harry effort from Skuak. They still managed to put it on 2v2, as you've mentioned, but let's see if they somehow can get away from this. The HE was close, but not close enough. And 2v2 with the AKs, they should have an edge now. But look at that, Sensei just knows his angles, and it's gonna be another round for Vernadai, even though it's the B-bomb side, but both of them are low, so not much to even think about here. And we've seen Skuak with the rocket ship out to the 4 points in the start, but somehow they lost the lead, and we are seeing that Vernadai might be getting some edge. And of course, the upfront Sensei is going to help a lot. We're going to have some AKs then force, and Skuak figuring out what can we do really now. You know, it wasn't really their expectations to come up against Vernadai. They know it's the Execuma mix, so they knew the map would be big. But do you think we could see someday even Vertigo and Shunt from them on the next match?
Maybe. I mean, if you're the favorite, though, you often want to take it to one of these more known maps, right? More known quantities. So from Vernadai, I don't think so. Skuak, if they get to Vertigo or Ancient, I don't quite have their full statistics on it, but I'd assume that's kind of an advantage for them in that they kind of level the playing field in that regard. And they might have to, depending on that next opponent. Obviously, with still yet to find out if it's Skade or BE. I think that changes it quite a bit, where B might not even be favored in that battle against Skuak. Whereas I don't think there's a chance Skade even end up in that losers bracket, to be honest. But if they do, then, you know, it ends up being that type of situation from there. Skuak here on the Deagle round, by the way, on the half buy, have already got themselves a free B site as they took down Jakey with just the 1 Deagle shot. Server got the bomb down now. Even that Psycho comes back to pick up the 2 kills. It's still Vernadai having to get back into that site. Skuak haven't been too good in these post mats, though. Even Kaylee gets a great trade out to it. 3-on-3 now as Sensei's And Psycho's already timed up. Hyper peeks in. Another kill on the board. Skuak. They can end up with it here, but then Clem does come in to try and play the part of the hero. Nonetheless, it's these Eagles just being a little bit too strong. The headshots coming out from Hyper, and Kaylee specifically ends up with Sensei actually just running away on the save, and that's going to be Skuak picking up an unbelievable round. That was, again, just a chance for Runaway to run away with a half, but nothing of the sort here.
That was from 0 to hero, of course. We've seen many rounds winning in here with just the Eagles and a couple of pistols. But I just needed to check and solidify my info. And Skuak played already 3 Infernals. One of them was overtime, one of them was round side win, and the other was basically lose without even a chance to fight. Hopefully Anodai might be having a good stats, as we see the balanced match up till now. 6-6, and it might be still 2 ways to even end up here, and maybe even the closest match or the closest score at 8-7. So this might be tricky. Juan already up on mid on Banana. And yeah, even Freeper is running around and even getting the attention of the team on the T side. Sensei still holding the AWP, running around trying to get the picks. One of them already found. No Bloodar might be having a same mind, but on the A side. 3-on-3 situation, just an immediate picks, but of course Sensei reacts well, and it's now many dead bodies from a Skuak, and they're still running around like chickens without a head.
Yeah, that's kind of the strange part of this TF so far from Skuak, where on these actual buy rounds they end up with very loose strategies and very unclear directives as to where they really want to go, and then they just end up in these situations where, after winning such an unprecedented round in that previous one, they still end up with kind of a similar situation despite having a little bit more money to go around, where Brother Dive's still in the round advantage. And that's just something that needs to be cleaned up, where Skuak are on these T side gun rounds. I don't think they can. There's no team in this group that they're going to be able to play like that against and end up with a victory in the first half, because they're back to AKs here, but I'm not one to trust them based on what we've seen so far in these tactical setups they've actually run with. So set up here from Run or Die, but then Psycho just goes down immediately. Sensei does get the trade on the way out. In fact, picking up a second on the way out. Oh, he's not done yet!
Nah!
Sensei with 3 kills, missing on the 4th, but doesn't even matter at this point. He can stick around, he can hold down that bomb as the rotation's already on the way. Sensei closed it out with a 4K as Jakey got in on the action as well. They pick up that 8th round, but maybe he shouldn't have. It was all on Sensei again. He's got to 17 kills here after 14 played.
What a madman. I feel like he's got so much of an impact, and I feel like it's not going to be his last play that we're going to see here. And as well, we've seen them play against teams like Navi, of course, ESC Premier teams. But now we're going to see them against Skuak, maybe one of the worst rated in this group, and it might be like a warm-up for them. But still, they are giving them a chance, maybe, and Skuak, they know they have to figure this out. And of course, let Psycho make his work, 2K on his account, but now he is to round back, though Juan tries his best and impresses 1K from him. So I don't know if this might be the choice of theirs. Still, it's 8-7. That's still possible here. So we're gonna see Vardai trying to hold the B-bomb, setting out to the Juan against the world, against 2 guys from Skuak. He needs to peek, he needs to hold, but he hit them hard. It won't be enough. Info exchanged and B-side on the attack.
That smoke put up, obviously. Now fading. Sensei won't quite get to swat him out just yet. They've been lacking patience in these post-plant positions, though, the T-side. I guess that's what Run or Die are playing for. Clem just gets a free kill on one of them. Kaylee. Yeah, he doesn't fall too far from the trait, as he goes down pretty quickly there on... yet again, it's just Run or Die being able to walk in. I don't even think they used any utility there. They just kind of got what they wanted without having to work for it in another post-plant to cap off this first half in a pretty fair way, I'd say. Sensei up to 17 kills. You could see they're not even having to get involved in the final round as they get a pretty deserved 9-6 lead coming into the second half.
I just gotta ask you, like, if you're a fan of CS, do you enjoy more like balanced matches or just a straight up wins or losses?
I don't like when they pretend to be close matches. You know,
Oh,
we're here. I feel like if run or die, just start to pick up a few rounds, and then Skuak pretend like they're actually going to be able to come back. I wouldn't like that. But Skuak, I guess they could show something different here on the CT side, maybe to get a little bit closer, which I don't think anyone would be upset about. Closer games outside of, I guess, run or die fans.
well, they might still expect something unexpected. That's creeping around a banana. 3 guys at B, but nothing that would stop this man and banana. It's again Valen trying his best and already begging for the advantage. As well as we see Kali shooting through the walls. It feels like this is not a solid map. This must be a paintball arena. But we'll see the last 2 men standing from the D side. And yes, Skuak might be onto something as they try to detect where those last 2 players are. Hanging around the B side. It's going to be 2-on-2 again. This should be something that Run or Die should plow through. But we'll see if they somehow can't figure this out with just a small utility. And Hyperi has got the info. Now 3 men, and he just won't stand a chance of nothing than his kills. Lucy Hyperi, of course, picking up 2 more kills. And Skuak up to the 7th point. I feel like this might be the starting point where we're going to see the turnaround. And Skuak is going to hit hard and send Run or Die to the volley bracket. But if you're a fan of Run or Die or one of Skuak, don't be afraid and show them the support. We want to see who's your favorite. And maybe they'll take some energy out of that and hopefully use it in the game as well. This may be still a close one.
Run or Die ended up with a bit of a force by command to this one, of course. You would be quite afraid of their pistol play if you're on the other end of things. Most Eagles can definitely do some damage, but still, you'd favor Skuak in terms of that buy coming into this one, all the same. With still Run or Die ending up on. There's not a lot of utility here. Sensei will walk in first. Obviously, no op this time around, just the Deagle to work around with as he peeks in. Flashed away for the moment, though. It is him just backing down. He sticks around, though. Hyper going down immediately. Valen to stand one better. The 3 kills, in fact, on the spray down. To set up quite the B hold. He tries to go for more as well. Oh, it's Soul 5. Valen sending a message here for Run or Die as they get up to 8 rounds and have now the chance to equalize with a couple great rounds to kick off the second half with as well.
Nah, I just can't see that someone gets 5 kills, then even pedals away, finds the utility that was left there. I feel like Run or Die, like, yeah, they knew it was a stack and they've had no chance. But of course, like, not even a flash or smoke. They could invest a little into the next round, but nah, they didn't. And they left Skuak with 5 kills on 1 man. And that might be the AWP already coming up close on personal. Well, Blader that's his way onto lower mid. He now pushes them, the T's, towards the spawn. And yeah, this isn't comfortable. And it feels like he even wants more out of this. As he peeks out the ramp, and we're gonna see Server running up onto second mid. Though Juan might be on a different census here. He wants to stop the advancement of the CTs, but they are already at the door knocking on the last players of Run or Die. And yeah, this might be the cleanup that they needed. And Skuak against 1 man only is a Psycho that a brilliant play with his rifles on a Deagle. But now just a P50. He must walk around silently, creeping around, maybe getting a kill. Nah, that won't be happening. It's already tied up to 9-9. And yeah, maybe Skuak might be onto something. And yeah, I've said it might be a balanced game. Then sure it will.
For me, they just have to prove it in these gun rounds, though, because that was the weakness on the T side, where they looked pretty good in the other rounds, and in both pistol rounds and in ecos and even in force buys, but Skuak, they've just got to prove it here with maybe just 1 or 2 gun round wins before I really start to believe, despite it already being tied up. You can see here Blader on the AWP at least, with Skuak yet again setting up in a pretty aggressive manner on Banana, just trying to keep control of the top of it. Snaky gets naded down all the way to 33 health.
No.
Plenty of work to do to replenish that damage, but he's done more than that, I believe. Doing some damage onto Hyper and Valon. It's just the utility going back and forth right now. No one really being injured beyond that, and no one really being injured by the bullets themselves. With about minute 15 on the clock, it is Renardai to end up with the banana advantage in the end. Valon and Hyper not playing it for the long game there, backing away instead, unscathed.
This just feels like a snowball battle between both teams, as they threw the molly once, then they threw the molly twice, and we're gonna still see some of the smokes left. And Skuak, they need to defend this. There's already a man down. Valon tries his best, but even the smoke isn't gonna help him. We're gonna see him already rushed down by the T's. Manadai attached to the B bomb site, and they might as well think of the adrenaline now pumping around. It's gonna be hopefully they're double digit. As no one tries to retake. It's 3v5 situation, and Skuak not even stepping into the bomb site by themselves. They just want to save. They just want to get some AKs, and Server looking for at least one man to kill. And it won't even be that. Skuak defends himself. Maybe Taekwondo, maybe Karate. But it's just gonna be the AK that takes down all the remaining players. It's Splitter with the AWP. It's game time, and yeah, you know what that means. We're gonna see 10 more seconds of saving.
Oh, maybe not even. Fledar trying to keep away. Like, does get one kill, but there's so many just players around. Yeah, no chance. Oh. Sensei gets him in the end. He gets that AWP retrieved, kind of like in ancient Japanese culture, where if you want to take over the blade, you've got to slay the owner. Or something like that. Sensei with the blade being the AWP this time around, of course. Already up around as well. I mean, not the way to prove a gun round, is it, if you're Skuak to lose it like that. And not saving the AWP over. Do get to buy it up here, though, still. Even if they'll have to face Sensei for it. He peeks in straight away into middle. Just the utility thrown out, so no one really to find there. A Psycho tried to hold off a Banana as well. Great flash as he only gets the one kill. In fact, it's Jakey credited with it. This was Psycho with the flash itself. Skuak, they get the Banana control in the end.
Ooh.
And they get quite deep into it, having a couple smokes to use as well. Maybe using it quite early there, though. Surely Renardai will be able to get back there sooner or later, and I think Skuak are already setting up for that, having backed away now. With only the jump spawning Valon there with the rotation caused. 3 players on that A site as a result.
Now just they need to figure it out, like where the players are. It's 4v4, so if they hit B, that will be probably the best option. But it feels like Skuak might be deleted and bulldozed onto the A side. 2 gets on top mid. That might be a good sign for the A execute. But still the bomb is lurking around the ramp area. And there are still many players alive. Situation getting more tense. Hyper by himself along, spots one. Maybe the needed info and the ended kill that he already acquired. Now the plans may change and the minds can go around. The faults of the A side hit still gonna be changing. And wait for the smokes. It's gonna be again the A. It's a destination for the run or die.
20 seconds though. Not a lot of time to work with. Kaylee just trying to hold on right now. Splatter's already got 1 kill. Kaylee spamming through. They're being delayed right now where they really need to get the bomb down soon.
What?
And they just don't get it. Splatter jumps back and forth and does get the 2 kills in the end to make it 3 in the round. And it's just an acrobatic display from Bledder on the AWP as he got up and down doing those box jumps to help with the cardio to get to 10 rounds. That is Skuak maybe proven something in the gun round. That's really nice. Quickly get back into just that, but certainly a chance there opening up for Skuak. Maybe a winning formula even.
Back to business for them. It's at least, again, more closed-up matchup, as we can see 10-10. But the AWP, the battle of the AWPs always it reminds me of the Kenny's against Guardian. But this round it's going to be the opening from the AKs. And I just feel like many AWPers tend to be more of a baiting, as I've seen lately, maybe afraid to do the action, and they leave it to the riflers. Do you feel like the entry could be the AWPer as well, or it should be primarily the rifler of the team?
I think just with the current meta, you'd always want the AWPer to be the main guy of the team, right? Just to open up things. And I guess that's kind of the winning formula for Run or Die as well, right? Where Sensei's able to open up, especially on that CT side with the AWP. But certainly, I think it's worth having a couple just slightly more aggressive players. You can't just like if your Opera is having an off night, which is not necessarily out of the ordinary, especially on a couple maps. They're more difficult. I think it's worth having a couple more players that can really open up rounds for you, even if the Opera does it here. Bledar taking the one kill before he walks away from the crime scene with 40 seconds left. He's got the backup here on the B side as well with Valen creeping in from CT. The smokes will at least land, but Run or Die keeping it late yet again here with the Molotovs firing through. And they're not even committed to it right now as the smokes finally come through. Valen, will he be pushing through that? He will! He just gets a bit of damage done though as Bledar still tries to hide out on the site, but no chance for him.
Way.
As Kvem does it all. The 3 kills in the round set up what should be a very difficult post plant now to handle for the CTs. If they even do go for it, yeah, they're just going to walk away. The saves come through. As it is Kvem to take the round. Kind of similar to what we saw in the first half, I believe, from, was it Hyper? Who just got like all the kills on the T side. And
I think
it was just over from there on out. Similar thing here.
Don't know if I could advise Skuak, it could be maybe just drop the util towards the guys on B, as we see the late hits, and they're gonna use the advantage or the smokes and nades so early, so they have nothing that is gonna lead them towards those late round executes that they can stop it with, and hopefully they'll somehow get into it, as we see already. Again, the lead is changing. It's from the other side to the first. And it's going to be the technical pulse or the tactical as well. Hopefully it might be from the team Skuak, as they still are in a bit of a shambles, looking for some money, looking for some ideas what they can implement. And the teams are still comfortable now, running around, of course, using those late executes. They are also playing on the nerves of Skuak because they still don't know where to go, where those players are hiding. And of course, the plan isn't really to go for the info, because if you are losing a guy in the late round, you of course get the info, but you can't really exchange it for any more time.
I mean, yeah, for sure. But it's just, I've been so good with that utility. We're playing against the, as you mentioned, the lack of utility. They're just struggling with it right now, Skuak. Even if they do drop over, it feels like Run or Die are just so good at drawing it out, first of all, and then obviously taking some time off the clock with it, to the point where you're still going to end up pretty strangled economically or just utility-wise in terms of that economy. But you can see here, Skuak ending up with just as big of problems as the utility front. Not quite the best weapons here. Two rifles coming into it, 2 MP9 to the Deagle on Bledar this time around, so maybe not quite as reliable as what you'd otherwise assume. Bledar obviously needing to open up things here, but then it is Servants walk into middle alongside Kaylee as well. They just push in. Run or Die have no idea, and they actually get caught out so much by it to the point where they are going to get naded down to nade down to set up the 3-on-2, and then from there on out, all feels so very simple. A chaotic round. Run or Die never got into it. Sensei left all alone, but he's on such low health here where he's just not going to be winning this round. It's Skuak who have really mixed it up there. From playing it slow, from playing it patiently, they end up with the round just based on the way they are able to track down Run or Die there, who they looked very lost, I must say.
Yeah, it might caught off them guard, as we've seen push out towards middle, and now just saving around the PC, where maybe some player would usually sit. But I feel like Inferno is one of those maps that many people miss those little details, like the PC door there opened, then there was a boiler that was moved away and then put back. It feels like the history repeats itself, but Sensei is going to repeat his killing spree. He's now on 3 kills. If he wants to win this round, he needs 2 more to make it ace clutch. And he's got 29 seconds where he wants to hit, where he wants to hide. That is the question. And he still tries to go around, find a way into this round. And he might just found what he needed. 2 guys at him, and now he needs 1 more kill. But no. This round won't be his, but it was a great attempt, and we've seen even to close it into 1v1. He almost won the round just by himself, but it feels Yeah, it might or may not be just one player that needs to step up, as he's got like 23 kills on his account.
Yeah, they definitely need. You can see it from the kill stats. Just looking through beyond the Sensei, it doesn't look great right now with a lack of fragging, and obviously needing to really keep up with those types of rounds. We see Skuak now utilize the fact that they have a couple good ideas there on the CT side, mixing it up, and maybe a chance again to really get into the lead. Obviously tied up here for now at 11-0 with certainly Run or Die on a slightly better buy, you'd say, but could end up either way. Jakey ending up with the 1 kill there, almost luckily so, as he, on the final shot there before backing away, gets it almost through the wall. Hyper going down as a result. Fallon picking up his AK, and it's Run or Die who move over there towards that A site instead, as Skuak have already voted over their player from that A site to leave only two here, Cerber and Kaylee. Specifically, the latter will be facing a bit of pressure, it looks like, because it originally looked like Run or Die were looking for the apartments area, just like in that previous round. And this time they didn't get cut off before they even got into halls. Instead, they throw in the flashes. Kaylee just hiding behind the walls here, has no backup to speak of as he draws out the M4. No chance as Cerber goes down as well. That's already round over. And that's already Run or Die. Getting back that lead, it does feel difficult for Skuak to keep up with this, because if you keep exchanging rounds like this, it's always going to be that T side to win out. And I mean, Skuak in this instance, even if they end up with a double save, it's not going to be a great economy here, as Run or Die will end up 12-11 up.
Yeah, you're gonna draw the Black Peter anyways, as we're gonna see CTs losing a lot of money. But I just hope that Skuak is gonna remember this round, and they're gonna capitalize on what they know about Run or Die. They play those late executes, and they can easily just expose that and exploit it with a fast push, as they did on middle and second middle. They got most of the kills in the early part of the round, and they didn't have to really worry about those 1v1s that were lately on, and almost since they catched around as well. But it was still a bit of a better idea of getting there early and getting those picks. Hopefully with the up on Blood that might change, but yeah, they're gonna just work with that little money that they have left. And let's see if they can put a quiet hole into their money of Run or Die. It's gonna be AKs against them, so maybe just running around and going for a jog from these.
Yeah, I definitely do agree that they might have to go with a quicker strategy here. You can see them getting into apartments this time around, trying to again just cut off the legs of the Ukrainians before they're able to jump up there. Them getting into the window areas as he faces Hyper, immediately taking him out though. Skuak look for different avenues. You can see Cerber already moving through. He has the angle, has the shot, misses, and hits. And that's good enough. Did get the third chance there, but the Sensei through the wall has already made it into a man advantage yet again. Skuak stuck on just these two Deagles alongside that Bledder M4, who is going to move through the smoke now as Cerber looks to distract. It's Bledder to get the free kill as a result. Run or Die, they rotate over now, expecting just a one player over on B, but then Bledder is quite quickly there, at least into library.
Oh,
Fallon for now alone on that B site. I think he's sticking around. I think that might be a mistake with Fallon so lonely over towards B. Still is able to do a bit of damage to JK. I'm not sure if that's enough though, as he gets mollied away. Bomb plant will be going down here. Cerber gets the kill in the middle though. And that's opened up Banana completely. As Run or Die are stuck into the site now. You can see they're so far dug in. Sensei still with the opening frag. As Cerber still on the way from Banana. Walks straight into JK. It's Sensei all alone. He's tagged up. He needs the 4K as Cerber moves in towards him with plenty of time still to go. Cerber is going straight for the bomb as Sensei to peek. It's Sensei playing it cool, playing it patiently just around the corner. And it is still going to be Cerber to pick up the round. Oh no, he doesn't have the kit. No time as a result. Sensei just playing with him there. Ends up with the round victory as a whole. Not every one-on-one clutch has to be pretty. You just have to win. 13-11 as a result. Run or Die. Gonna be pretty happy with that one, despite obviously losing all of their players.
What a shame. If he could like get a kill like 2 seconds earlier, Skuak still could get around, but of course the defuse kill wasn't there. and hopefully they'll try to figure out or maybe get a reminder later on as they need to buy it. But this round won't be really the time to buy the fuse kit. They can lower the money. But Cerberus saved the AK at least. And gonna die again on the AWP and cycle with Mac 10. That might be the plan to expose and really take over the B-bomb site by himself and then zone out the rest of the CTs into the A area and be worried if they wanna, for some reason, go for the retake. But it feels like Cerber, he might be the man that has to do all the work here. He's got the smoke gap. There's a gap on the right. He might already found the one that he needed. Just a couple of more. They need to peek in, peek out though. He needs to save and fall back. As he at least found the opportunity for Skuak to get in. Just a couple of deagles chiming in, and it might still be a bloodbath.
That is a tough one to take, though. Runner Die not ending up with any kills so far. Cerber definitely doing his job on the AK so far, but then Valon does go down, and so just those Eagles left now with Cerber's AK. Surely they want to save eventually. His squad just lines them up and takes them all down. You can see Cerber already wanting to get out of there. He gets a kill on the way out, but the economical damage to Run and Die not really significant at this stage. I don't know why he keeps fighting at that point. If they end up with not any great money here. I mean, if they had that AK saved over, they would have probably been able to at least get some better utility on the board than what they are going to have now. They still end up with 5 M4s, though, admittedly, so not the end of the world as Run or Die are that still have the chance for a match point here. And that would be close to the end of the world with Sensei on the op now. Back again. Skuak maybe having a rethink again. Are they going to go back to this aggressive strategy, or are they going to stick to what they know? Because right now, sticking to what they know is not working. They go for the triple short setup. I guess that is a mix-up of a sort. As they play the B site much more passively, you can see Psycho walks in there with no hassle. On the other end, Valon just smoking out early, it looks like, with indeed that patient setup on B. Almost being a little bit exploited by the C side. Getting quite early, and I've already drawn out that bit of utility, so not much left now. Only really Valon's utility left as Fem on middle combines with one. They get the 2-for-1, and then from there on out, it looks pretty rough. Valon silly. Might not be able to do too much here, Valon, even with the spray damage done through the smoke. It is going to be an uphill battle for sure. Walking through the smoke there. Psycho is going to go down. That is Valon maybe opening back into the round. He walks through the smoke unexpectedly so. Sensei ready for anything, it looks like, though. It's the no-scope that time to leave only Kaylee, but now there's surely no chance. You'd thought Valon brought them back into the round, but in the 1-on-3, as Sensei get the bomb down, even with the damage already dealt, Kaylee has just way too much to do. No utility to do it with, not even the kit, so needs to play this one quickly. Hasn't spotted anyone yet so far. First fight will be against Jakey, but then before he even gets to that stage, it's Quad to put them up to match point 15-11, and it does seem as though it's running away from Skuak a little bit here.
A bit of awareness from the T's, as we've seen again, getting the banana control early. There was no info from the Skuak side, and the exploit, or basically fencing away Skuak from the B-bomb side. Even when they try to execute or the retake respectively, it was quite too late. And of course, no kit and peeking one by one. That isn't something that you are really wanting, as you want to get closer to them. Now set up around mid. Might be a boost for the Alper. Did they find a kill? Against Sensei, I would be afraid to even try that. Already on 20 kills, or 28 now. Let's see. The B-bomb side now holds like a rock solid. But still, it might be a bit of a challenge for Ranadai to come in here. 2 players now closer than ever. And Ranadai up into the match point, of course. They are playing now for the win. They won't be losing this one, of course. But Skuak, they still don't know if the bomb side that they are defending is the one that they are going for it. As Ranadai wrapping around the A long, maybe still a surprise for the CTs.
And the MP9 still end up with 2 kills. Across the board there, Ranadai end up with the site. I'm not sure which trade you'd actually take there. I mean, Ranadai do still end up with 1 kill, right? So it's not a massive disadvantage as they can just dig in against the weak post-plant Skuak team. Not been good in these situations at all, and Psycho will put another nail into the coffin. Not many more now to hold on. The Psycho keeps fragging. Quan helps out. And with only Kaylee left, yet again, it does look ended now. Even as he picks up the first. There's plenty more to go. Not a lot of time to do it in. Kaylee moves in. It's Sensei on the no-scope to close things out. 16-11 it is.